This is Storytellers and Storysellers live on tape. You're listening to Vineet Kanabar on the IVM Podcast Network. When I was growing up, well, TV used to be pretty shit when I was growing up. It was really fucking shit. I grew up watching K series, right? I watched a lot of Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi and Kahani Ghar Ghar Ki and Kasauti Zindagi Ki. The other day I was at the launch of The Social in Goregaon at Nesco, and I was very excited because I saw Urvashi Dhulakia, who's Komolika.
Oh,
Damn.
I would have also been very excited.
Right.
Very
She's a
excited.
fucking institution, right? We had great characters, but we had terrible TV when I was growing up. These days, that's not the case. At least we don't have terrible TV, right? Sure, there are the odd weird show, but TV is pretty good, man. If you're a young person in the 21st century, you've got a lot of shit to watch on TV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that the youngins, and in the youngins I'm including my wife because she's seen the show, is a show called Class,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm very excited to have Chayan and Madhyama from the Netflix show Class on this episode. Chayan, Madhyama, welcome to the show.
Thank
Hi.
you.
We're going to have a blast on this episode, right?
Of course.
I think I take special pride in having people who've never been on a podcast before.
Right.
But this is a doubly special episode because you're also people who are new to what you do, which is web
Yeah.
series as well. So
Very
it's like
new.
a double, triple whammy, and I'm very excited about the conversation we're going to have. But back to how TV used to be when I was growing up, right?
Likewise.
Yes.
We used to have a show called Remix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We used to have a show called Remix, which is about two guys and two girls in a high school sort of situation. And it was like really wannabe cool at that time. The lead female character was a girl called Ramona.
Mm-hmm.
And Karan Wahi used to play the lead male character.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen this show. This is around
No,
2005,
haven't.
2006. Ramona, the lead female character. And this was the kind of show. And this is how far we have come and how you are the torch bearers of content for young people.
Right.
Ramona would not say, "Hey Bhagwan." She would say, "Hey Bhaggu." On that note, we'll go into a quick break.
Lol.
Oh my god.
Back with Madhyama and Chayan on this episode of Storytellers and Storysellers. Go nowhere. This is going to be a blast.
Hey, it's been a special week for the IVM Podcast Network as we turn 8 this year. Listeners, thank you for being with us on this wonderful journey. We are back with the second season of How to Citizen, hosted by Meghnad and Shreyas. And guess who is our guest? Omar Abdullah, former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir. So catch the episode now on the All About Now feed on IVM, YouTube and all streaming platforms. On Cock and Bull, Cyrus is joined by me and Amit to discuss Bharat Jodo Yatra 2.0, Akshay Kumar renouncing his Canadian citizenship and more. On the first episode of Payments Ecosystem Podcast, Sheila Aditya talks to CEO and co-founder Akash Sinha about what it takes to build a successful startup. On This Round is on Me, Gauri talks to Sanjana Patel, creative director of La Folie, about her journey in crafting artisanal chocolates. And on the Musafir Stories, our host takes us on a journey to the south of Maharashtra, exploring Sawantwadi with museologist Amruta Dhalkar. Once again, don't forget to visit our merch store on ivmpodcast.com. We have some exciting stuff for you over there. Follow us on social media via IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. If you like our shows, spread the word. Tell your friends and don't forget to rate and review us wherever you're listening to us. You'll also find all our shows on youtube.com/IVM Podcasts. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week, Yono SBI, Cash Free Payments and HDFC Mutual Fund. Thank you for making this possible.
And we're back. Chayan and Madhyama are still
Hello.
here.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. Guys, I mean, to just get you started, eased into your first podcast, has it been all that you thought of, your first breakout show? Has it been what you thought it would be like? I will start with Chayan.
It's been that and more,
Yeah?
really. I think the response has just been like beyond what all of us thought. Like we knew when we were shooting for it that, I mean, at least looking at the frames and everything that our showrunner Ashim shot, we knew that this looks really nice. But we knew that it could stir up controversies and stuff. But that's not happened, thankfully. And it's been getting, at least to me and to the people around that I've spoken with, even the cast members, it's been all positive, really. So, yeah, touch wood. It's been all good.
How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect it at all. Expect it at all as in, that it's a Netflix show, it's a huge platform, it's a great director. Like he said, when we started watching ourselves, I think that for me was a little weird and also very exciting, because firstly I was just like, मैं ऐसी लग सकती हूँ? And then I was like, this is looking beautiful, right? The cinematography, the lights, everything was just, it's beautiful. It's visually so appealing. So we would all talk about it. We obviously knew that it would, do well, but didn't know how well. And I think that really, it's blown up. I didn't expect it to go, so huge. And I think also when you haven't witnessed something like it, you haven't witnessed, the situation, it's difficult to comprehend. It's difficult to be like, okay, aisa hoga, waisa hoga. You don't realize it. I don't know if it was the same for you because you've done Guilty or you've done other shows, but for me, I was just, I didn't know what to expect. And then now it's
I mean, we
boomed.
checked today morning. It's been like, 3 weeks and we're still at number one
Oh,
on
yeah,
Netflix.
We got bumped and then we came back.
Yeah, we came to second and then we still, we bumped up to 1. So
Congratulations.
that's good.
Yeah.
That is massive, right? When I first saw the trailer for the show, I thought it was like Friends set in hell through through like a Riverdale filter. I haven't seen Elite. To be honest, I didn't even know about Elite, which is a shame because I work in this business and I should know about this shit. But I mean, it was refreshing to see it come through, right? And I was talking to someone at Netflix about it, about how exciting it looked. And then, like I mentioned to you before we started recording, my wife cheated on me
And
with
watched
this
it.
show, and she watched it without me. I was traveling and she was like, hey man, you're not around, so this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, too hard to resist. I'm going to watch it. You can come when you want to come.
Exactly, right? So it was a revelation because
Right.
she called me next morning, right? She spent the night binging like 4 episodes. She called me the next morning and she's like, dude, you are missing out. I was like, whose fault is that? Right? Tell me this, guys. Like, I know for you, Madhyama, it's your first proper acting gig. For you,
Yes.
Chayan, it's your second show. You've done a few ads.
Yeah.
What's it like, right? Preparing to put yourself out there like this. And I'll start this one with you, right? You've got a background as a dancer. You've been putting off acting and putting yourself out there like this. But then when you actually decide to do this, talk us through that, man. Talk us through that decision, how you, reached that threshold.
So I had been auditioning. I had been in touch with a few agencies here and there. I'd been auditioning for ads. Web series ke itne auditions nahi aate the, but I think 2-3 I did audition for, didn't happen. Auditioning is also an art that you need to, get good at. It's not something that just happens. Plus, you're not an actor, so you don't always know how to express yourself in an audition. I think the putting off acting was just because of, how shy or just reserved I was. And for me, the whole act of acting was too much. I was just like, ye to nahi ho paega. This is something that requires too much. You need to be very vulnerable and you need to be open and you need to be all these things. And at a certain point in life, I was not that. So I was like, this is not, my cup of tea. I'm fine doing something that's not vocal. I'm fine dancing. I can express myself with my body. I don't know how to express myself with my mouth and my face. Face, of course, I do because it's a part of dance. I'll get to that because that also made things a lot easier. And then I think it just happened at the right time because the audition came mid-lockdown. I also found it to be a huge opportunity and something that I didn't want to say no to. And I gave the audition, and obviously my mother was kind of pushing me. She was like, I'll help you with it, and और कोई था भी नहीं घर में. I'll help you with it, and we'll do it, and it's a great opportunity, and it's, you know, you can't stop being this person who's like, no, 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 blocking everything in your life. So she really pushed me.
And thank God she
And
did.
thank
Shout
God
out-
she did.
shout out to your mom, yeah.
Shout out to my
Shout out,
mom. She's amazing. And she
OG.
helped me with the audition. She played Veer. We did it. It obviously wasn't great the first time. Did it 2-3 times again and again. And then there was a lot of back and forth. We had to wait for a long time before we even got locked. I even got locked. But I think the audition process, you know, like I remember giving the first audition and then giving it the second time, and I was already a slightly different person.
Right.
Because it opens you up, it gives you confidence, standing in front of a camera and just, you know, expressing yourself in whatever capacity. It really changes, you know, things inside you. And I think the moment I felt that, I realized that I need to make this massive change in how I think and how I want to go ahead in life. And yeah, of course, when I got locked, it happened. Obviously there was back and forth. Got locked, was very happy. It was surreal. I was like, yeah, what is happening? Is this happening? Okay, I'll try my best. Let's see what happens. And yeah.
Man,
And
I want you to talk us through what you thought your reaction would be if you got locked and what it finally was, right? Because I'm guessing when you started out on this journey of figuring this out for yourself,
yeah.
you would have been like, yeah, do I really want this? Is this something that's happening? And like you said, it changes you over time, right? As you
Yeah.
commit to something, it changes you. Especially in the arts, you grow into it, it grows into you.
Yeah.
How did you react? What was the reaction like?
As in, okay, what I thought it would be, or okay, I didn't really think about what it would be or what, you know, when I get that final yes. I didn't think about that. I was just like, okay, let's see, will it happen, will it not? Because a huge part of me didn't think it would happen.
Sure.
I was just, you know, self-sabotage. I was like, nahi hoga, ye kya hai? This is not going to happen.
Keeping my expectations low.
Really low, like not at all. And then when it got locked, I think, I don't know, I didn't scream, I didn't do anything. I was outside my bathroom. I looked at my mom. I was like, Mama, ho gaya. And she started screaming. And she was like, what's wrong with you? Why are you not reacting?
Second shout out to Madhyama's mom.
Yes. And I was like, okay, it's going to take me some time. I'll react. Just hold on. Let's, you know, because then there's nervousness also starts building that, oh my God, now I'll have to do workshops and I'll have to be
Oh.
this person. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, suffering from
maybe-
success.
Man,
And yeah.
I know that feeling. Were you auditioning for the character you finally got, or was it for a different character?
No, same. I was
Same
auditioning for Saba and
Yeah.
I got Saba. Yeah.
And do you really love that character?
I don't love the character, but I obviously love the character because it is the first time I'm doing this, first acting gig. We all put in so much into building the character, right? So I do love her, but there are a lot of things that irritate me about Saba, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I love that. I love that, you know, 50-50. You hate her also, you love her also. It's somewhere in between.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Over to you. I mean, I know that you're like a polymath. Someone who's
Right.
got like a lot of balls in the air.
Right.
Don't mean that weirdly, but right. Juggling a bunch of things. You're doing your business side of things. You've got your acting thing that you're. I mean, when we spoke before we
Yeah.
started recording, I was
Yeah.
struck by how maturely you're taking this, right? And
Right.
just so my listeners know, Chayan is not more than 25. I'm not going to tell people how old you are, but you're not more than 25.
Right.
How did it work out for you, man? I mean, what expectations did you have when you signed up for this, when you started auditioning, and how did that journey get going?
Right. So how old was I when this happened? It was.
Oh, right. 2?
No, seriously. I'm going to enter into that zone now. I was 21 probably when this happened. And so this was right after the first project that I did called Guilty had come out. I think it came out in March 2020. And so after that,
Guess
the
what
next
else came out in March 2020?
COVID. Yeah. So and I was actually working at this consulting firm at the time called BCG, and like really enjoying my work also.
Casually sliding it in there. Like casually. मैं तो कुछ नहीं यार. I was just at like BCG.
You know BCG?
Bro, BCG is like fucking BCG, man.
That's what I think, but like no one in the industry, not a lot of people know. So that's why, like, you know, people don't. People know Google and Samsung and those kind of things. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I was doing that. I was really enjoying what I was doing. I actually used to make films for my office as well. Like I was really creative expression and everything was happening there. But then Guilty had come out, and it was getting like a lot of praise. People were liking it. My mom was really liking it. I would say that my character was important, but it was a small role. It wasn't that big really, but still it got a lot of attention and everything. So after that I started getting a lot of auditions. So I was continuing the job. I was giving a lot of auditions, and man, like I give the audition and forget about it, because I'm aware how fickle this this industry overall is, because you feel like you'll get this one, but then you don't. And so I think because I was kind of aware of that, I never took auditions, like the result of the audition seriously. Like I never ever, to this date, I don't have expectations for anything that I do, especially the ones that I really like. I never have expectations for them.
Beautiful.
So this one I gave, and I forgot about it. And then, like in fact, I think for 2-3 months we didn't really hear anything about it. So it, for me, like I knew that it was like they'd mentioned that this is an adaptation of the Netflix show Elite, which I hadn't watched, so I didn't know. And I just took it as like the audition scene and what the character brief was, and I gave that and then sent it. Then I think 2-3 months later, these guys got back and they said that, the showrunner really likes you and this is what it's like, etc., etc. So then I asked around and I said, guys, like my friends, I said, guys, have you watched Elite? Like, they're making an Indian adaptation. And my friends were like, brother, are you mad? Like, Elite is huge. It's huge. I was like, oh, cool. So I'll watch it. And then I watched it and I kind of liked some bits of it, didn't like the others. And then I actually really got interested into this project because I read about Ashim. I checked out his work. I checked out his interviews. So I was like, okay, this guy is my zone.
Right.
Like, he's someone I want to collaborate with, really. Like, I think I would learn a lot from him. And then there was some it wasn't really, my family wasn't like too much on board with this. Not because of the character or like how, how aggro the show is really. But they were like, like the typical middle class mentality, like, you have a stable job, you're working here, the brand name is good, all that. And I was like, yeah, cool, I know, but I can do this whenever, and these opportunities come like, once in forever type. So then kind of had to deal with the family, and then shout out to my brother who was since day one.
Shout out to Chayan's brother.
Yes, Rachit, who has been like since day one the only single person who's really pushed this for me. And yeah, I think now with the response to the show, it's been great and everything. But for me, I think the real change that this project as a life experience had in me ended with the shoot. I think my personality changed inside out just through the shoot process. And
tell us more about that. What parts changed?
I think like if people who watch the show will see the character Dhruv, I think I was really like that when we started shooting for the show. Like I was really untouched by life, and thought like in the show Dhruv really thinks that Dhruv and Farooq will make it, we'll fight for it, this and that. He's lived because he's not really been touched by life that much. He gets touched by it towards the later part of the show. So I was kind of like that. And I think then, life touched me during the process. So grew up, I think I learned how to negotiate. I learned how to, have like, just like be more direct with life really, not have, not live in a fantasy world of sort, and
sheltered family.
Like I mean I still like keep everything afloat, like if like I deeply love my parents, so whenever they want me to do something, I'll do it for them. Sometimes they want me around. I'll do it for them, And then now it's like, so mom, dad, like, I really want to do this and I am going to do this. So if you guys want to support, that's great. But if not, I'm still going to do it. And I would love your support on this. I think that's a really nice approach to life, at least. It works out pretty well for me.
So would it be safe to say that you grew up in club?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah?
100%.
Yeah. Is that sort of true for you as well? Sounds like it. No?
Yeah, I mean, grew up, I don't know, but a lot of changes. And I think a lot of them were to do with confidence and, mostly confidence, I think. And with dance, why I'm going back to it is because dance is very... I was confident enough to enter an auditorium and dance, before 500 people. But to stand in front of the same, say, 200-300 people, there was a huge crew. Okay, not 200-300 people, but lots of people,
Sure.
and act and, vocally put across what you have to put across whilst thinking about so many other things, about technical things, about feeling, about how to sustain the feeling, about, just positions, kahan pe khada hona hai, kaise dekhna hai. It's a lot. It's not just one thing. So I think as you do those things, because, as you do more difficult things, the confidence rises. Every day you come back home realizing, I can do this, I can do another thing, I can do 5 more things. So it was a confidence boost for sure, but in a very nice way, not in a, I'm a star, main shoot karke aayi hu. It was very, okay, I needed this and I
you
realized...
are a star, Madhyama.
Both of you.
We'll say that in 10 years.
Guys, let me say this for you, right? I mean, I'm sure you can mutually admire each other and the rest of your crew. But the two of you sound very seasoned,
Oh.
right? You sound like you were born to do this. Honestly, I'm not even joking, and I don't pay compliments easily. Actually,
Thank
I
you.
do.
Oh, damn it.
Shit.
But you guys do sound like, folks who've got a really stable head on their shoulders. You're really taking your lessons out of this. And I'm hoping that you see a lot more success in the future. That seems like, it seems like you guys deserve it. So congratulations once again. I'm going to go into a quick break.
Okay.
On the other side, we'll talk a little bit more about class.
Done.
Yeah. And we're back. We're still on Storytellers and Storysellers. In the middle of the episode, where did you think? You think the show would change or what? No, it doesn't. We're still on Storytellers. We're still talking to Madhyama and Chayan. Let me ask you this, right? And like I said before we went into the break, you're people who are growing in a world which is, which values being famous. Huge.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, there are levels of fame, and you're squarely on that journey. First as creators, now as actors, right? And of course, the moment you become an actor, fame has so many dimensions that suddenly open up, right? I have a few questions to ask you about this. First of all, do you obsessively track your Instagram growth?
Yes.
Not obsessively, but yeah, for practical purposes.
For practical purposes.
Yeah.
How much money I can charge brands? Is that a question?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And you had a very guilty smile.
Yeah, because I do. But it's also because... But I used to do this long ago as well, when I used to put up dance reels. And I really wanted my Instagram to grow, because I really wanted the dance aspect to get out. And I was hoping that I'd get collaborations, or not just from fellow dancers, but I wanted, performance opportunities, or just I would have loved at that time to get, say, a web show or a movie based on dance, or me as a dancer in it. So at that time, I think I had 3,000 or 4,000 followers, and I used to post every day, and it used to be really exciting. So I used to track even then. And now, of course, it's increased a little bit. I have to tell myself, put your phone away, it's okay. But it's also very balanced. It's not, I'm not that taken up by the numbers. It's more like, even now I think about all those people who are following me. I'm like, go watch my dance videos, It's okay, class ho gaya, go watch my dance videos. So that is, I'm a little obsessive.
Love it, as you should be. I mean,
Yeah.
you are in the business of
Why not?
creating.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
right now is the time.
Absolutely. Then, more women sliding into your DMs?
Yeah, women and men.
Yeah? Oh, yeah, of course.
Right. So,
And
yeah.
how are you handling that?
I mean, so, interestingly, even when Guilty came out, I had a very small role in it, but then it really kind of took up. There were fan pages and all made, which was kind of surprising and new for me. And so around that time, it was all like the way they call it thirsty DMs, like XOX, you're really hot, those kind of things. And now, even though Elite is like kind of like Class is kind of like a raunchy show, one would say. Now it's all, oh, Dhruv and Farooq are so cute. They're the cute. Like, Dhruv, you're the cutest. I want to pack you in my bag and take you. So it's been fun. Like, honestly, I think I take out one day out of the week where I go through all DMs, and the ones that are really like heartfelt. Like, where it's not just like... It's not like that, like where someone's really put in some effort and genuine thought or feeling is coming out in the message, then I properly reply to it. And even like, let's say now there are so many people who are taking out the time to like draw sketches of like us and everything and put it up, so I
Fan art.
like that I really appreciate. Like,
That's
if
very
someone
sweet.
puts in effort for something they admired on the show, that effort only I really respect. So that I do. And then
Beautiful. I'm just so right when I say you guys are so mature in dealing with these things. That's a masterclass in fan engagement, to be honest, right? Isn't it?
you guys got the
I
cool
know.
bunch, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. What can we say?
What
That's
can we say?
awesome. Tell me this, and is there a real life WhatsApp group as well?
On like
the
for the
way
cast?
the way there is in the show, is there like a class WhatsApp group with all you folks?
Yeah, there is.
We
there
have a
is.
group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like similar to how it is in the show, or is it?
No, in the show it's
How is
really
it on the show?
the WhatsApp group. It's
Yeah.
all bitchy, right?
Yeah.
It's all really
Oh,
dirty.
no.
And I mean, they're sharing like crazy stuff, and I mean, Yashika is mostly like, handling the
Regina
entire
George of the whole
thing.
thing, yeah.
No, in real life we're pretty sane and
Yeah.
sweet, and party happening, are you coming? Or this happened, or like
Yeah, and now
happy
like the group is
birthday.
so sweet. If we get like work opportunities, then
Yeah.
everyone will put it on the group. Like, guys, if you guys are free for this, I have a shoot. Like, if you guys can do it, I'll take this forward. So
Yeah.
like I've been saying this
Putting
in a lot of
across-
interviews, but like there's like a lot of camaraderie in our
Beautiful,
group.
man.
Yeah, we're really trying to push each
Push
other.
each other. That's a really nice thing about the group.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Who's the nicest?
We're not supposed to answer this question, Madhyama.
Oh wait,
That
why?
was a trap.
Oh yeah.
It's me.
Well done.
No, it's not. I think the sweetest is actually
Chintan.
Chayan
Yeah.
and Chintan. And not because I'm sitting here with him, but he's really sweet. He's like, sweet,
Aw.
sweet too.
No, I do it for the camera.
Yeah, with that face. Yeah.
Boy knows his audience. Man. Yeah.
But yeah, Chintan is also sweet too. And this guy, yeah.
I think all of us are really sweet. It's just people have a different way of expressing that. And I think genuinely I've noticed this. This is not for the podcast, for the camera or anything. Chintan I said because Chintan is someone who during the process I spent the most time with. So we have become so comfortable as friends now that like I know that he's not making like this is not something that he's pretending to do is all good. So everyone's really good inside. It's just some people like are like a bit direct, some people are like a bit let's say, what's the word for it?
Guarded or roundabout.
Yeah, like some people just don't
Open up
like
quickly.
openly they're not sweet, but if
But
like
they
I
are nice
said
people.
like I
Yeah.
said, like this is the real sweetness, that if there's a work opportunity, they're sharing it on the group for everyone
Yeah.
else. So
Yeah.
that's what I call sweetness.
Love it,
Yeah.
man. I'm glad that folks working, and I'm guessing all of you met because of class. Very few sort of pre-existing friendships.
Yeah, me and Gurfat, they were really tight before we started also.
yeah?
So
Yeah.
my mom actually, that was one of the reasons for her to really, like feel at peace about this because she'd met Gurfateh, and
Right.
Gurfateh is also like this, this Punjabi boy from Chandigarh. He's really warm, welcoming, So my mom was like, okay, cool, you're doing this project. At least Gurfateh is here, he'll take care of you.
Beautiful.
So
Shout
yeah.
out to your mom.
Again, yeah.
Shout out to your mom.
Shout out to my mom.
Beautiful. Let me ask you this. You talked about getting a bunch of fan mail about you and Farooq. I'm sure that's happening for you and Veer as well.
It's happening, yes.
Yeah. What's the sweetest things that have come your way?
I think the whole Saba and Veer thing has really taken off. People are simping hard,
Yeah.
And I remember messaging Veer some days ago. I was like, dude, people are really simping the fuck out. What is happening? Did you expect this? He was like, I don't know. But I remember other people in the cast telling me that, the storyline, the way your and Veer's scenes are written, it's going to be really cute. People are going to love it. It's really... And at that time, I really didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, haan, theek hai. Pyar to chalo, that engages a lot of people all over the world. But I think the most genuine messages were solo about Saba. People were really writing. I could tell that they were really touched. And everyone, not everyone, but of course, like Chayan said, there were a few messages that were just like, oh, great job, this, that, which is also a big deal. But there were a lot of people who were just writing, loved her energy. I felt calm when she came on screen. You were so natural. You were so genuine. The character was so genuine. Thank you for Thank you for representing Muslims in this way.
Yeah.
And I really felt happy reading that. I was like, okay, this is obviously a character that a lot of people are, feeling connected to. And that's most important, right? When you feel there's a wall in between you and what you're watching, then it's tough to connect. So that was the sweetest. People just, that was very sweet. I feel calm when Saba comes on screen. I was like, oh,
Damn.
so sweet.
So wholesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And that's the kind of validation you seek as an actor trying out acting for the first time, or as a creator trying out acting for the first time.
Of course. And that's what you'd like to achieve. And it's also the writing, right? It's not just the actor, it's also how the scenes are written, how the characters have been written. So that has also been beautifully done. And then it's your job to bring out whatever else you can. So those messages were very sweet.
Beautiful.
Sweet.
For you, Jan, how was prep for the role, right? There were a bunch of intimate scenes. We're still a society that's looking at roles portraying homosexuality, especially for men, in a very different way, right?
Right.
Women playing same-sex relationships get fetishized, which is a weird problem in its own way.
It's weird.
But for men, it's acceptance that is the problem, right? It's a self-image that's the problem. How did you prepare, man?
So, honestly, I think, I think maybe my parents were also not worried about me doing the show. They were worried, like, what will society think? That's like a constant thing that now I'm kind of tired of, honestly. That, like, I think, like, a big to society, really. Because, like, if you want...
The big was 2 middle fingers.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, essentially. So, for me, it was really... My concern and worry was, like, I haven't been in this relationship ever, like a homosexual relationship. Can I really portray it? So, like, I spoke with a lot of my friends who are gay and who are so sweet, but they, they said that, but like, with you guys, we're really out and open and like we openly express it, but our parents don't know and they're in denial. And I was like, that's concerning. That's really concerning. And I spoke with a lot of my friends and, asked them what has your life been like? Let's say the first time you fell in love. Of course, like people who are comfortable with me, sharing all that. So that, and then, they kind of told me how it's been. And then I think, like, of course, like it was more about portraying love on screen. And I think the person who's really helped in this process is Chintan, because genuinely, I think on screen I can only see Chintan and Chayan being great friends, and that coming out really well
Right.
on screen.
Right.
Because like, let's say that, in fact, I'm not sure like are we allowed to say these things or not, but like I'm a cisgender heterosexual person,
You're
so
allowed
I've
to say
not
that.
been, like I'm not homosexual essentially. So the intimate scenes and all were not really difficult because it's like a really technical thing. Like
Sure.
people are like, of course, everyone asks you these kind of things, like what was it like? It's really nothing because Ashim, like the director, is always concerned about, okay, this angle I want. So now, like you give me that angle. It's like a robotic thing.
Mhm.
It's not, you don't feel
In the
weird
throes
or
of passion, where, like-
so you do it really as like a job, like okay, cool, like a carpenter has to do this, so you're supposed to do this. You just
Sure.
you get restricted to that.
Yeah.
So I think Chintan and I like found this like, and I think it started off with the fact that both of us were really into, like we were at that time, and I say at that time because we've grown since then and we've
Sure.
evolved and things have changed,
Sure.
but we were really into spirituality around that time,
Mhm.
both of us. Sadhguru, Osho, J. Krishnamurti, that's all we used to talk about. The planets, astrology, that's the zone that both of us were really in.
We're in, yeah.
So I think that really formed a really deep connect for me. Because I was like, this is not on the surface at least. We're
Mhm.
talking about real stuff. This
Mhm.
can't be on the surface. So
Sure.
Chintan and I really, that really helped us be friends on screen as well. And that's the response that we've been getting really, that like with you guys, it looks so organic, and I'm not like boasting or anything. I'm just like really, verbatim.
can
I'm
boast, we're
saying,
okay with that.
Reiterating, yeah.
yeah, verbatim. I'm telling you that people have been like, we don't see the gender thing in your case. It just looks like two human beings being in love, and I was like, that's really nice.
That's
that
what it
that's
should
come
be.
Yeah, that I'm glad that it's come out, and like around also, like I was kind of like I was open to having a proper conversation with whoever came up to me and was like, yo, are you sure about this thing, like how did you do this character? But like somehow even people my parents' age have been really like interested in the show and the characters and the relationship, and everyone thinks Dhruv and Farooq is really cute, and also
Yeah.
touchwood, that's one less thing to deal with.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. I mean, I'm so glad that as a young actor, you stood by this choice and you went about it the right way, and then
Mhm.
you're seeing the response that you're seeing.
Touchwood, yeah.
And to what you said as well, right? Portraying a Muslim character, especially in the environment we live in,
Live in,
Indeed.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's fundamentally important to uphold these choices and these values, and these values are universal, right? You can
Yeah.
put a veneer of, oh, this is a homosexual relationship or this is an interfaith
Yeah.
relationship, but at the end of it, it's what you said. It's just two people in love. Now,
Right.
what the characteristics of those people are is ephemeral, right? It's there today, gone tomorrow. Those
Yeah.
feelings and those sentiments and that portrayal is what people relate
Indeed.
Yeah.
to, right? I can relate to a love story between two men.
Mm.
I can relate to a love story between two trans people, for
Mm.
example, right? If those emotions
Yeah,
really
yeah.
come through, and that I think is the most wonderful part of being able to portray these characters. And kudos to you guys, man, for doing it well. I think, and for seeing the kind of response that you're seeing.
Yes.
Let me bring this around. No, thank you for doing this. I think it's important that young people hold up these values in entertainment, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the show's got story twice in its title. That's how much we believe in the power of stories, right? and it's important. It's what makes change, or it's what
Yeah.
defends against bigotry,
Mm.
right? And
Mhm.
it's fundamentally important. And as young people who are far more sensitive to these things than old fogies like me, I'm so glad you've taken this. What are you watching in your free time?
So I mean, I don't watch a lot of Netflix, OTT really, but this year, just 3 months ago, I watched Money Heist
Mm-hmm.
and Sex Education, because these were like the two most popular shows that I had been getting a lot of
Sex Education
about.
is a great.
I love it. Now I
Great.
absolutely love it.
Yeah.
The way it's shot, and I've been like shipping Maeve and Otis full time. You can't believe. and the way it's shot, and it just takes you to a different world. So
Mhm.
that was really nice. And I'd been getting a lot of hate about not watching these shows, even though like I'm technically in the industry, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then Money Heist was also really interesting for me, but specifically for Berlin's character,
Mhm.
who I just deeply fell in love with.
Mhm.
And then in my free time, as in like when I'm having lunch and all, then I'm mostly on YouTube. I don't watch Netflix or anything.
Mm.
And like I've been listening to Jordan Peterson these days,
Please don't do
Sadhguru. Why not?
Just don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
Interesting. Very interesting.
There are better male role models out there.
No,
Is
not as a
all.
role. Like I don't consider anyone a role model really. I just want to see their perspective on things. Like
Mhm.
how do they think and what are the kind of issues they're raising. So, even it's interesting to know. That's what I keep telling. Like I was having this discussion on gender pronouns with my chachi the other day,
Mhm.
who I'm staying with, who doesn't know what gender pronouns are.
Sure.
And she's just like, yo, Chayan, what do these guys keep writing on Instagram? He/him, she/her, this and that. I said, like, it's not important to have a take on it. It's just important to know that these things exist. Because you are in this world, you can't stay in, like your time and believe, no, ye sab kuch nahi hai, abhi aise nahi. I was like,
you need to know.
don't have a take on it or anything if you don't
Yeah.
want to. But at least know that these are things that are happening around you.
Yeah.
You need to be aware, that's all.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
man, have you thought of what you were watching?
Oh, I was watching.
I kind of forgot about that.
It's my job to remember.
I was watching. I saw Farzi last,
Yeah.
and before that, I think I saw Trial by Fire, and nothing in between.
Class on Netflix.
And Class, but I watched it so, like, in a rush. I don't know. I have to watch it again. I feel.
Yeah, same.
Aram se
The
I-
day I watched it, the next day and for the next 10 days, I was bedridden really. I had
Oh.
so much fever.
Alright,
I don't know
you
what
can.
happened. And I think me, Zen, Gurfate, Moses, all of us got the same thing because all of us were really sick. We had this cough and congestion thing that wasn't going.
Mm.
So I didn't actually appreciate all the love that was coming for a week. I
Aw.
started appreciting after it came
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Like, so,
Man,
Took some
you know what
time.
the good thing is?
Mhm.
It's going to come your way a long time. Right? Thank you so much for joining me on this show. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you guys. I wish you all the success coming your way. I'm so glad that you and the bunch of folks who are in this show are
Yes.
presenting such an interesting view of what young India can be about, right? Folks who haven't seen the show, including myself, should go and watch it.
Go
I've
and
seen
watch
2
it.
episodes, right in the middle, episode
Mhm, mhm.
5 and 5.5, and 5 and 6. That's
Oh
all.
no.
Yeah, randomly because my wife was watching, and that's what I ended up watching. But I will go
Yes.
back and watch the whole thing because I've heard only good things about it.
That's what.
Right. And like I said, when I first saw the trailer, I thought this is Friends meets Riverdale through a hell filter. Right. And I
very well
really,
said.
I really want to watch it. Once again, Madhyama, Chayan, thank you so much.
Thank
I hope you had a
you.
fun time on the show, on your first podcast.
I did actually. It was really nice. Very loved the flow of everything.
I
It
had a
was very
blast.
nice.
Thank you. Like you're really nice at what you do, man. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Please tell that to Amit Doshi. Amit Doshi.
Amit, if you're listening.
He knows it. He knows.
He knows. Of course he knows.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
That's it on this episode of Storytellers and Storysellers. If you like this show, what to do? What to do if you like this show? If you like this show, get up, open the door, step outside, and scream into the void that you like Storytellers and Storysellers, right? While you're doing that, while you're screaming into the void that you like Storytellers and Storysellers, open up Spotify or Apple Podcasts and rate this show a full 5 stars. Do that. And then tell all your friends to do that. And tell everyone you know to do that. While they watch Class, they rate the show. That's what they're supposed to do. That's the assignment, guys. That's the assignment. That's
Do it, guys. Do it.
That's it from me, Vineet Kanabar. This is Storytellers and Storysellers. And I'm saying goodbye.